Hello, I'm Dick.
And I'm Eric, and we're the Annuity guys. So Dick, market corrections. We keep on hearing all these predictions about the impending crash. The correction is coming.
Well, and I think that most folks believe it is coming, and it's likely. I mean, everyone knows that the markets go up and down, and there's a certain level of volatility, and there's just been a lot going on that folks have felt the market may be a little overvalued. There's a lot of things happening out there on the world scene, and we've seen that volatility recently.
So now we're looking at market-safe annuities, which sounds like a perfect thing to probably have during a market correction, but can it really be something that you really should have in your portfolio during a correction?
Well,
what's going to happen to these annuities?
Yes, and I think that just giving, just a little definition there on a market-safe annuity, there's some market-safe annuities that they're market safe because they have nothing to do with the market going up or down. Right. The principal is always protected, and some of them have a guaranteed interest rate, or they have a guaranteed income, such as an immediate annuity.
Right.
But let's talk about the hybrid stuff.
The hybrid stuff, which some people confuse because they assume being in an index means that you're in the market. Well, you're not in the market.
You're not invested in the market.
But let's just give the example of having, results or growth tied to the index growth. So
correct. It's a market-linked growth, so that as the market does go up, you have interest applied, and typically you're going to have a larger interest applied because you do have this market-linked growth.
So now, correction time comes. That's a bad thing, right?
You would think so.
Markets go down. We're 1,000 right now. Market's going to drop to 600.
Oh my, that's a big drop.
Okay, but what happens to your market-safe annuity when that market drops?
Well, first of all, that year you're not likely to get growth. It's likely to be zero gain. And
No. I went from 1,000 to 600, Dick.
Right.
How can that be a zero?
That's because it is a market-safe annuity. Now, had you have had your money, Eric, in the market directly, you would have had a 40% reduction. And it would take you, well, here's a question for you. If you were in the market with a 40% reduction, what would it take you to get back to even, just to get to even?
Well, it's just got to be 40%, right?
No, I don't think so.
And that's the problem. It's like a 66.6% growth to get back to even money.
Because your money shrank. It's not the same amount of money anymore. So to get back, it has to grow more than what you've actually lost.
So that actually happened kind of in 2008 where people saw that reduction. Now, if they were in a market-safe annuity, what you're saying is they wouldn't have lost money. So they would have stayed at that same
level. Exactly.
But now that the index is down at 600...
Right. That's a nice place to be when you're in a market-safe annuity.
A nice place to be. We just lost 40%.
Well, you lost 40% if you were in the market.
Oh.
But if you were in the market-safe annuity, your principal is still 100%. Yeah, you didn't have any growth the year that the market dropped, or the year and a half, or 2 years. But now that you're at this new starting point.
New starting point?
It's when it resets.
Resets. Now, when does this reset happen?
Once a year, typically.
Typically, okay. All right.
Now, there are annuities that have a 2-year, 4-year, 5-year reset.
So I've got the 1-year reset. So now I'm starting at 600.
You're starting
at that reset.
Your principal is still whatever it was. If it was $100,000, you're still at $100,000. And now that the market is restarting at 600, where do you think the market's going to go? So when it's dropped 40%, where do you think it's going?
I'd be happy with a 10% gain. Thank you very much. So the 10% gain.
So if you see a 10% gain that year, which is highly likely because it dropped so far, so it doesn't have to do much to come back 10%. Well, you're going to pick up a good percentage or some percentage of that on your annuity. So your 100,000 could become 105,000, 110,000, depending on the interest strategy that you have.
So depending on the index,
right.
If that index gains 10%, and if I got the whole index gain, which is unlikely, you probably get a portion of the gain.
You're going to get a portion.
But so I could actually start seeing gains that next year. I wouldn't have to wait for that whole.
That's what's so cool, Eric. You do not have to wait for it to catch up with itself. You don't have to gain back what you lost because you didn't lose anything. You just get a new starting point. And I'll tell you, this is where folks are kind of surprised and amazed that when the market goes through a flat period or a down period, it always has this volatility, and that works so well with the hybrid style indexed annuity because it will actually beat the market a lot of times in those years.
When there's volatility,
yes,
because you don't ever go backwards.
Exactly. So. And we don't want to, folks, we don't want to oversell the hybrid annuity, the indexed annuity, that you're gonna see consistent, 8-10% gains. Have we seen them? Absolutely, we've seen them. But you will find that there are time periods, 5 years, 10 years, where the fixed indexed annuity, the hybrid style annuity, actually beats the stock market, and maybe handsomely beats it.
Right, and obviously we want to get those gains. We understand that we're giving up usually, though, a portion of the upside gain in order to have that insurance of not going backwards and not having that downside.
And Eric, one empirical study that we do refer to somewhat frequently is that Wharton study. Mm-hmm. And folks, we can put that out there again for you so that it's easy to access. But it kind of backs up these things that Eric and I are saying, so that there are these time periods when these perform very well.
Right, so you don't have to go backwards. You don't have to have the gains beyond what you've lost, so the 10% doesn't have to turn into 12% to get back to even.
So Eric, if I said to you, this year you're going to earn 0, would that be a good thing?
Well, sometimes 0 is my hero, especially when the rest of the market is having a correction.
You know that if you or I are earning 0 on our annuity, then our buddies are losing.
They're losing their buddies.
Or whatever. Thank you.
See ya.